Chapter 20. Should I A. choose a universe, B. make a universe, or C. co-create a universe? A. Choose a universe. Once we are conscious that we are in a multiverse, there are only three choices: choose, make, or co-create a universe. Hopefully, we've thoroughly gone over the peril of choosing a universe. We all know the universes that are on offer. They are mind traps. They require your fear and selfishness to fuel them. It is very hard to make virtuous moral choices in fixed dialectical paradigms, which both lead to suffering by way of your consent. Synthetic universes like this might even lead one to falsely believe that we are living in a computer simulation. Although protest seems noble, it is often the wrong tactic. Disengagement on a mass scale is the only way to destroy a choice universe. B. Make a universe. Completely making one's own universe is madness or art. It is not advisable to completely unplug from consensus-based reality. It's not hard to imagine scenarios where someone has done this. Our truth cipher would show that to live in such a way could be extremely harmful to those around us. Consider how this might play as a parent. Making a universe does have a perfect place in creating work like novels, films, and music. These universes become real, part of the realm of mind. Artifice provides a way to partition creations from base reality while still interacting with it. Deeper even than consensus-based reality is the eternal archetypal universe of mythology. That is what we interact with when we make universes. Co-create the universe. That was C. Our best choice is to co-create the universe. Our truth cipher shows us that we needn't reject all presentations of reality, just the ones that are harmful to us and others. If we're guided by genuine interest and passion, when universes that don't transgress morality compel us, we can feel emboldened to integrate them with our universe. We needn't accept entire universes, just the pieces that work. Never feel guilty for rejecting realities the media and your peers are fully vested in. Any universe that compels one to do evil is suspect. Sorry. So that's the end of the chapter. I think I started my writing got a little clearer toward the end of the book, so I feel like I did cover what I wanted to cover. I can just paraphrase. So if we go back to A, choose a universe, what we're talking about is, it's so easy to pick on the media because that is the dominant paradigm for most people. So let's say you're locked into CNN or the New York Times. You probably just have fear whiplash in your reality. Like, you don't really know what's going on. Maybe you read the New York Times and you feel some sort of liberal superiority. There's some sort of unspoken intellectual lifestyle that you think you've joined up with. But ultimately, you don't really know what's going on. So you chose the universe of the elite, and you're still confused. And what's worse, you're looking for acceptance from other people who have chosen that universe. I think that's kind of the biggest problem with choosing these bad realities, because nobody really understands what's making these realities run. They're looking for acceptance from other people to check if they're doing it right, to say, are you living right? So like you'll read the New York Times and maybe you'll read the lifestyle section. You'll say, oh, okay, I need I need to be buying apartments and eating a certain way and and whatnot. So it's they're just going to lead you on a little wild goose chase of of reality, not grounded really in anything. That's the thing. That's what Truth Cipher is. It's a grounding, and it's kind of an eternal grounding. Like we're calling it Truth Cipher. Mike Passio calls it natural law. I think that's really what it is. It's just you need to decipher right from wrong. You need to decipher what is right and wrong, what is human-caused suffering that can be avoided. Uh, but in the New York Times, they're gonna build your consent to say, oh, we should go invade Iraq, and oh man, we better bomb Syria because you know we've all we all have a consensus that this dictator is bad, and this is what we have to do. So they're manufacturing your consent in their reality. You didn't pick that reality. You're plugging into their reality, and you have to do that to some extent, but you have to ask questions. So we need to start to reject the bad parts of these realities. So if we go to B, make a universe. So this is sort of like the one could have an ideal of totally creating the universe, and I'm sure like if somebody was reading my work thoroughly, you would critique me and say, oh, like what happens if you can't co-create the universe? And we're talking about the realm of mind, so there's no limit to what you can imagine and what you can create, what experience you can create for yourself within the realm of mind. And there's two realms. There's the realm of mind, and there's a realm of material. And material is more connected to our consensus realm. But you can hijack your own mind, or you can find a substance to hijack your mind to create a universe that is completely unplugged from material. Now, what in the book there's a picture I have a picture of a man. The headline is "New York Man on LSD saves dog from hallucinated house fire," just to illustrate some of the problems of completely constructing a universe from scratch. In the consensus, in a universe where we have to interact with others, you can't actually do that. But I go on to say like art is the realm. Like you can write a novel where you completely construct a universe, and it would be quite valuable. You can create art, you can create music. All these things, they like music in particular. To make nice music, like you do have to follow some pretty strict natural laws, unless you're trying to make music that will break those laws and nobody will want to listen to. So music is an awesome illustration of the universe. Because if you work with the laws of music, I'm talking about Western music, which hopefully most of us understand, most of us resonate with. You understand that you want this harmonic resonance because it's beautiful, and that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to work with existing laws, and we're trying to within the realm of music, you couldn't, if you just don't even work with any laws of music, you're gonna make some, maybe avant-garde stuff that gets written about as important, but give it a couple hundred years, it's not going to be. I don't think it's going to be that interesting or useful. And then we go to C, co-create the universe, which is our best choice. So that's where that you have the power to create the universe. However, because you're functioning with all these other sentients in a consensus reality, you don't have to reject everything. Like you actually, to function, you do have to agree on things. We could use extreme examples of there is gravity. Like you could mentally convince yourself that gravity has no effect on you. Never mind that it's a theory and it's not fully understood. You're not going to go jumping off buildings because you can fly. In your mind, you might be able to do that, but you're going to create quite a few problems for yourself and for others if you create a universe where you can fly and nobody else is living in that universe. So that's just to say, use the true cipher to decide what you let in. Are you participating in suffering? Are you creating suffering? Are you being harmed in this reality? You get to pick and choose. I mean, that's sort of what all these chapters have been leading up to. Like there's, you can see on the internet, like you can see through the media, like there's so many different perspectives that you get to pick. So what we're trying to do is help you pick the good ones. And if we, in our base consensual reality, if we all reject the bad ones, things get better. And I think the mainstream media will try to make you feel guilty and like you've transgressed, like you're a degenerate, a deplorable, if you say, you know what, I don't reject the morality or what you're calling morality, that it's not rooted in natural law morality. I don't accept what the consensus you're building and your rationale. I reject it. We didn't go to war in Syria. That was they already played that trick, for Iraq. We do see this, even though we tend to see our species, many of us just tend to see that there's very little hope, but there's certainly, you can see it still works. You can see that people still know right from wrong, and sometimes you can't fool people twice. So that's just an example of when we can reject the universe and when we can co-create the universe, because there's media outlets, let's say, manufactured war, there's going to be media outlets that rationally and morally are objecting to the war. As an aside, that's not to say I'm anti-war, I'm pro-defense. So, you have to, within natural law, you have to know when it's time to fight. You can't, it's just as bad to just let yourself be destroyed. If you're under threat, you actually have to take a stand. So there's a time. It's just you have to know morally when is the right time. So I think that's enough for today. We are winding down, not quite there yet. Looking forward to finishing the project because there's so many other issues I want to talk about. I want to do some interviews too. So hopefully that's coming, but do have to finish the Truth Cypher just to lay this all out so we know where we're coming from, or where I'm coming from. All right, thank you.